Hello, second grade. It's so good to see you again. You've been working so hard thinking about place value to help you solve 2, 3, and 4 two-digit numbers together. Holy guacamole! Who knew you would be able to do such great things so early in second grade? Well, today is no exception. We're going to keep pushing our brains. But today I add a little color to our charts. Isn't that a nice little addition? Let's go ahead and do our learning target, and then we'll see what we're going to be doing today. I can add several two-digit numbers together. I'm not telling you how you're going to add them together because I know and you know that there's lots of different ways that we can solve these. Now, we are going to solve several. So as you can see, we've got 4 and 3 sets of two-digit numbers. And so we're going to be using what we did yesterday to keep practicing this work and looking at different strategies that we can use. Or at least practicing the strategies that we've already learned. Now I have to tell you about my friend Sandy. Sandy loves flowers, and she loves to grow them in her garden. Now she grows some flowers in the summer, and she grows some flowers in the fall. And we're going to work together today to figure out how many flowers she grows in the summer, how many she grows in the fall, and then you guys get to figure out which one she grows more of. Flowers in the fall flowers or summer flowers. So let's take a peek first at our summer flowers. Just like our charts from the other day, this is another chart, another visual that represents information or data. We could make a bar graph or a pictograph with this information. We're not doing that today. We're going to be adding together to find out how many flowers she has, but we could put it into a graph to organize that information even better if we wanted to. Let's take a peek at her summer flowers first. In the summer, she grows daisies, those little white flowers with the yellow on the inside. Tulips, tulips, so many different colors of tulips in the summertime, in the springtime too. Irises, our Tennessee state flower. And roses. Oh, such beautiful, and they smell so good. Oh, I love a good rose. Now, she had 15 daisies. How many tulips did she have if we look at our chart? She has 25 tulips. Okay. How many irises? Irises, 19. And 22 roses. Now, I want you, before we get started, can you write an equation that would show us what we need to do to find out the total number of summer flowers? What equation could we write to help us add these, or to show us how many summer flowers she has all together? How many numbers are in your equation? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we have our unknown, right? We can't forget to add each of those pieces. What would that equation look like? 15 plus 25 plus 19 plus 22 equals box, because we don't know how many summer flowers she has. 15 daisies, 25 tulips, 19 irises, and 22 roses. Stop and smell the roses. How many flowers does she have all together in the summer? Now, remember what we talked about yesterday, and always remember that you can use our chart to help you thinking about place value or putting two numbers together to make it just a little bit easier to add. Go ahead, use those models, and show me how you are solving. What did you add together first? So what do you still need to add? Which one of those is the total? Neither? So what is your total? Can't forget to add those two numbers together, can we? Awesome work. I see that you drew a picture. What does your picture show? Oh, I love how you grouped those numbers together. Why did you do that? Because they made a 10. Ooh. What did you do over here? Which ones did you add together first? Why 15 and 25? Because that 5 and that 5, right? Oh, wonderful. It's like that 9 and that 1 from yesterday's work. Okay, friends, let's come together and talk about this work. Now, I am going to draw. Somebody did use their base 10 blocks and showed something really interesting, but we're going to write that in equations too, okay? So when we were doing those base 10 blocks, what did your work show? Okay, so it showed 15. Oops. Okay, then what? Okay, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and whew. Okay, and what did you do next? We have our 15, our 25, our 19, and our 22. So what did you do next? Why did you put those two together? Okay, it makes 10, and then what did you do next? Your 9 and that 1, that makes 10, and then you still have that 1 left over. Okay, and then how did you find out how many you had all together? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So you had 60, and then 20, and then 1. And where did that 20 come from? Those 2 10s, and then you had this one little guy left over there, right? So how many did you have all together? 81, 60, and 20, and then 1 more. So some of my friends were doing something a little different. Again, we're looking at a place value, and then we're also finding that friendly number. I'm going to do a different color of blue to share. Someone did this and matched this. We've broken up just a little bit more. 60, and they added one of those 10s to equal 70. Then 70, and then another 10 to equal 80, and then 80 plus 1 equals 81. In case it's getting a little tricky, it's kind of like making that big jump on that number line. Sometimes we need to make those 2 little jumps to make it a little bit easier. If we know our 10s, that's just a little smaller hop that makes it a little bit easier to solve. So either of those ways, you're breaking it up and you're looking at making those 10s. And this is just an equation that can match that model, right? But that's not what everybody did. Some of us did something a little different. So talk to me about your 10s and your 1s. So you had a 10 and 20 and 10 and 20. Where do those numbers come from? 15, 25, 19, 22. Okay, and what did you find with that? 30 and 30, which equals 60. Okay, and then what did you do? 9 plus 2. Okay, and what did you do next? 10, 11, and what does that equal? 21. So 10 and 10, and then 1 more is 21. Okay, are you done? No, that person said, it's not 60 and it's not 21. We have to remember to add our 60 and our 21 together. So the last step, 60 plus 21 equals 8 10s and 1 1, which is our grand total of 81 summer flowers. What do you notice about these 2 strategies? We're using base 10, absolutely. So base 10 for this, base 10 for this, aren't we? And what else do you notice? If they're all base 10 though, how are they different? So this one, I drew them out. Okay, so there's that 60, there's that 20, and then here's that extra 1. And this one had our 60, our 10, really that 10 there, and then that extra 1. All right, you can see that right here as well. So when we're looking at this work, we know there's lots of different ways to show how we can use place value. You don't have to draw out those 10s and those 1s. You can actually use equations to help you show that as well. Let's see if we can use a little bit of that information to help us figure out how many fall flowers she has. So she has 81 summer flowers. How many fall flowers does she have? What equation would we write to match this problem that we're trying to solve? Why would we put a 38 first? Okay, so that's the white mums. Oh, you know mums. Okay, you can see them around Halloween. White mums, red mums, and yellow mums. Okay, what are we going to do next? Okay, and then what are we going to do last? These are some bigger numbers, aren't they? We can't forget to put that box for the unknown. Okay, so show me how you might solve this. How can we make this just a little bit easier to add? Go, go, gadgets. Let's see what you can do. Where are your white mums in your work? Where's your 38? Where's your 43? And your 20? Why did you add those two together first? So what strategy are you using? You are using your place value, but when you're making those 8s with those 1s, what else are you doing? Yeah, you're using a known combination. That's a smart strategy to do it. Is there another way that you could do it probably? Is this the easier way for you? Yes, it is. All right. Ooh, I like when you did your base, when you drew your base 10, you're making that 10. How can we do that if we were writing equations? What would that look like if we were writing an equation? I like how you use the equations to show that. Where is your 90 coming from? So how are you getting to 100? What number are you decomposing to make that 100? Aha. All right, friends, coming together in just a few moments. 5, 4. Remember, you can always pause me. 3, 2, 1, and pencils down, done. We've got a lot of different ways to solve this. We're gonna go to one of our favorites. Okay, let's think about those 10s and those 1s. What did you do to help yourself solve this? 30 plus 40 plus 20. Okay, and what did you do when you added those together? You made 70 and then 20. And what does 70 and 20 equal? 90. Okay, what did you do next? 8 plus 3 plus 5. And where do those numbers come from? Is it 8 and your 3 and your 5? Awesome. So that's a lot of numbers to add. What did you do to help yourself add those? 3 and 5 is 8. Why would you put those two together? Because 8 and 8 is a known combination. Such a smart strategy. And so then you have 16. So are you done? No. What do you need to do next? We added our 10s, we added our 1s, and now we have to what? Add the 10s and the 1s. 90 plus 16. And what did you do to help yourself add that? You broke up that 16. So when you did that, what did you find out? You have 90 plus 10, which was 100. And then you're adding 6 more to get 106. So when you decompose that 16, you were able to see the 10 and the 1s to make that just a little bit easier to add. What a fantastic strategy. Awesome work. When we are using that place value, it helps us add that nice and easy. Oh, that's a lot of fall flowers, isn't it? Holy guacamole. Yes. So there's one other thing I wanted to show you guys, and I want us to think about this because it opens our minds to be thinking about making that 10, just to make it just a little bit easier to add. And so this friend did draw out the hundreds, 10s, and 1s, or not the hundreds, 10s, and 1s, I'm sorry, my brain is turning into mush. Drew out our base 10 blocks. We have our 38, our 43, and then our 25. 5, okay. But they did something special. What did they do? Okay, so when you had your 8 and your 2, You actually did that so you could show this is 40. Ooh, that's smart. So you have 40, 40, 20, and then you have your ones, right? So when you have your 40, your 20, and then you have your 5 and 6 extras, what do you find? You have 80 and 20, and then you have your 6, then you have your 106, your 80, and your 20 gets you to 100, and then you have your 6. So sometimes, just like, I feel like it was just the other day, we took one away from one to add it to the other one to make it a 10. Looking at that and making that 40 and just borrowing that, and this visual helps you see that. We take 2 and we put it up here, and now instead of 38, we've got 40, and now we only have 41, and then 25 to make that just a little bit easier to add. So looking at that, making those 10s to make it easy. We've got some more problems for you to do on your own, and I want you to put to use this place value and making a 10 to make everything just a little bit easier to add. Remember to go back and think about what, when we're adding those together, we want to make sure we are adding our 10s, our 1s, and then putting those back together. And we're always checking to make sure we've added all of the numbers. We don't want to forget any. Sometimes when there's more than 2, it's easy to forget one. My challenge for you, before you start working on your independent practice, I want you to tell me, does my friend Sandy have more summer flowers or more fall flowers? And how do you know? So on your little exit ticket, I want you to tell me that, and then you can go ahead and work on your independent practice. Happy solving!